All right, good evening, everybody on the Economic Crisis Initiative team. It's your girl, AniYa, and we're so excited to be back another night with all of you. As you know, we have been going hard for several weeks, and tonight is no different. Although there's a major storm out, we are still here and we're committed. And I'm so thankful that I have people that really want to make a difference in their lives as well as the lives of others. So in just a second, you will hear from the team as they introduce themselves. Again, it's your girl, AniYa, and we will be right back with tonight's topic, as well as great information on how you can stay connected with us. And ready for this? Decrease that debt as you increase your wealth. So Mimi, please tell us who you are, and then everybody else, you have the floor.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here with you all tonight. Thanks so much, AniYa, for hosting again another week of ECI. My name's Mimi. I'm in Toronto, Canada. I am currently editing my videos for YouTube for my series, The Art of Artificial Intelligence, that I released over the last, I'd say, 2.5 weeks. I created a series. It's 10 episodes. It's aimed toward policymakers and decision makers, and as well as the public, to educate people on artificial intelligence and have them be a little bit more comfortable with it. I practice law here in Toronto. I practice mostly criminal and civil claims, so I am a litigant. And with this pandemic, that whole system is completely changed and postponed. So I've been focusing on my tech company. It's called Kuvera. I've been active for 2 years now, and I'm really happy with my progress and my success. My motto is positive mental attitude, and to me, positive mental attitude means someone who's willing to master something or always have a good attitude toward a mundane task, so we're able to like bring joy and teach others how to do it with life. So there is my intro. I think Ty, you're up next, and looking forward to the conversation.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm sorry I can't be on camera tonight. I'm on my way to support a friend at like a radio interview. So hopefully that all goes well in this storm. But I am the youth. You know, I work alongside AniYa at the NAN program, where I volunteer with the crisis program over there, the Crisis Initiative. I've also been working alongside with AniYa with her Haiti initiative, which we're hoping to continue to work well. And I'm just here to gain information and gain opportunities and open doors that I could lead other youth like myself into, so that we could be great, you know? So shout out to the youth, shout out to y'all. And I'm out.
And you're out. You're so sweet. I love her. Thank you so much, Ty. Tawanna is next, and she is a newbie. I'm loving it.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Tawanna Wilson. I reside in New York City. Please excuse me, I'm not able to video chat with you guys because I work at night, so this is my sleep hours. I'm excited to be on this video to learn more, to see where it goes, and hopefully volunteer on anything possible. I am a parent, also a council member with a school district in my area, and that's all I got for you guys right now because I am half sleepy. So that's it.
Thank you, Tawanna. That was great. And thank you for sacrificing your sleep time for us. We appreciate you. And we know we will definitely have much more to do for sure. I think TANIKA is up next. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am very happy to be a part of this group. I hope to learn more and share more. I'm an educator in New York City Public School, and I also a social advocate, and I do a lot of other hands in a lot of basically what I would say investments myself. So looking forward to hearing and sharing. That's my phone. Hold on.
No problem. Thank you, Tanika. And Attorney Marshall, we see you. You are next.
Yes, good afternoon. Good evening. I think you can hear me. I am muted, correct? Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you again for having me on your program this evening. And thank you for putting together such a dynamic group of people. I'm now in the process of creating, as I believe I informed some of your members, participants before, of creating a word called Afro-diasporian. Afro-diasporian means those of African descent in the diaspora. Diaspora means away from one's homeland. So rather than having a mouthful to explain oneself, one can always say, I'm Afro-diasporian. That should handle it. I feel that it's important for us to be able to identify not just as one person from one group, but identify with our commonality, maybe from different countries, different regions, but it is one blood. And some of us have one drop of that blood, some have many drops of that blood, but ultimately it's all about humanity and our origin and our strength, our confidence, our hope. Let's go.
Excellent. Thank you, Attorney Marshall. And I love that you are coining this terminology and you are serious about it. His shirt says it. He is promoting it, and that's what it's about. Last but not least is the chaplain, the one and only Mr. Pastor Warren.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Pastor Chaplain Wharton from Brooklyn, Helmet of Salvation Ministry. I'm a youth advocate, everything for the youth. That's about it, and the seniors, and the senior youth and the seniors. And I believe that everybody in between the youth and the seniors are here to help the youth and the seniors. Give our energy to that. So let's come together. I'm glad to be here. This is great energy, and I'd like to say.
I can't hear him. Somebody got to tell him that he's got to unmute. We can't hear him.
We can hear him.
Okay, I've got you.
Yes. Go ahead, Pastor.
No, I was saying, first of all, I want to thank the Lord for opening our eyes this morning. Without that, we couldn't even be here. So let's give thanks and lift him up. And let's go.
Amen.
Amen. And yes, he is all about the youth and the seniors as well. And tonight is just a beautiful night for us all to come together. And hopefully your seniors and your youth, wherever you are, you know, they're definitely safe and okay, because we know with the storm, we have to definitely check in on the people that we care about. So make sure when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, you know, give people a buzz, not telling you what to do, but, you know, just a quick reminder, because right now things are really hard in our communities. You know, the lines at the grocery stores were bananas, and there's just a lot going on presently in our communities. So if you all remember, just try to touch base with those that you love and check in, because right now with the pandemic, as well as the times we're in, it's very difficult. So we're gonna jump right into everything. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you can just raise your hand, or, you know, stop me, put your little fingers up in the air, wave them like you just don't care. Let me not start with that process right there. Praise the Lord.
AniYa, one quick thing.
Uh-huh.
I just want to add, please, everybody, even your neighbors, check your neighbors. There's a lot of elderly people that can't get out, and there's no one there with them, and they're suffering in there. So Just give a knock, see if they need something. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that because it's so true, especially right now. And yeah, we definitely are our brothers and our sisters keepers. So I know I'll be checking in on my community for sure, as you all check in on yours, because I know this group cares for the people. That's what we're about. Yeah, so we're gonna jump in, and of course, if you have any questions, concerns, etc., just like I said, wave your hand like you just don't care, because we're here for each other. As you all know, this group is really here to grow and to inspire change, as well as create a different dynamic in our community that we probably haven't seen, you know, forever. One of the things I do say to the people and why I do what I do is because of what I've been through in my life, and also experiencing a lot of issues, and knowing that it's possible to come out of our pain and our problems as long as we have the right people in our circles. And thankfully, we have some great people in our circles. One in particular is our financial investment banker from JP Morgan Chase. As you all know, you were there on the line. We cannot utilize his image as well as, you know, put him on flyers, etc. That's why it's been kind of weird. That's why for those that didn't make it the other day, you haven't really seen much. I've been really battling with this whole process because of all the laws and all of the, you know, stringent policies when it comes to this type of work that he does. And he broke it down for me a little bit more. But if you check your emails, for those that were a part of that conversation on Friday, you definitely have access to him. You definitely got an email with his direct information and email address. And the reason being is because it's such a stringent process that I have to be very careful as we move forward with him, as well as the community. I hope that doesn't scare anybody, but when you're dealing with money and issues with our stocks, etc., there's just so much. And that's why we as a people have to be on top of our game. And that's why we have to grow. And that's why we have to stick together. Ty said it best just moments ago when she said something so powerful. And I don't remember verbatim, and I don't want to screw up what she said. And I hope she's able to reshare when I stated, you know, that Mama Brenda Dock, for example, who worked at Merrill Lynch, let's just start it off like hardcore, worked at Merrill Lynch for 25 years and learned more in 1 hour of this workshop than she had in 25 years. And if that's not insanity, I don't know what is. Let me tell you guys something. We as a community have to know that a lot of communities do not care for us. They don't want to see us grow. They don't want to see us prosper. If we can sit around and not collect these coins, that's exactly what they want. They want to be able to make sure that we're not properly represented or not even at the table. So with that being said, keep that in mind, that that's why we do what we do here. And that's why we're going to share as much information as possible. If you were in fact on the group workshop last week, then you'll remember the 5 tips for first-time investors. If you were not a part of that conversation, here is what that looks like. Last week, because we were so interactive and together in that group session, we had each person read and you know, share, and we had approximately 8 to 10 people that was a part of that. I want each of you to be able to take a look at that, no pressure, and share your thoughts. If anybody wants to volunteer in reading, you know, a couple of these or all of them, or, you know, we can do one at a time if you want to volunteer and read. And then if you were a part of Friday and you want to share anything that you learned, we are accepting that as well, because at the end of the day, it's about the testimonials as well as the growing process. So 2 things, if anybody wants to volunteer to read 1 through 5 or one of each of them or whatever, that's great. I can do it. If not, or if you want to share your thoughts about what we are learning, and, you know, if you're thinking about moving forward with investments, that's another great thing that we would love for you to talk about tonight. Anybody?
What was the question?
Oh, okay. We have the 5 steps, the 5 tips for first-time investors that was provided by JP Morgan. That's who we were working with this past Friday. And so we have this here. You got it in your email, or it's a part of our screen. If anybody wants to read and talk about it, that's what we're going to be doing for just a few, and then discuss why it's important to learn this financial game. And then for those that were a part of the workshop this past Friday, if you want to share what your thoughts are, or, you know, how you feel, and if you're moving forward, that's some of the things that we're discussing at this point in the game.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I can kick it off, and I can volunteer to read number 1 and talk about it a little bit. And then somebody can do number 2, or I can do number 2 as well. So real quick, get started early. Well, let's read the top. Ready for this? It says, and let me minimize this a little bit because I want us to be able to check this out, and I want to be able to read, you know, what I'm seeing here. 5 tips for first-time investors, right? Beginning to invest for retirement and other financial goals is not only a smart idea, it may be critical to you and to your family's future. If you're like most, you agree with this idea and concept, but you may not know when or how to get started. And then it says, number 1, get started early. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need a lot of money or the perfect plan to start investing. The sooner you begin, the more time your money has to grow through the power of compounding. And compounding is your money's ability to grow on itself and allows you to take advantage of market increases. So in other words, what we learned and how we broke it down just, you know, last week was, you know, get started. You know, when you overthink this thing, or when you think like you don't have enough money, or you feel like you don't have what it takes to be an investor or to start saving because you don't have anything, that's the wrong mentality we have as a people. And we're trying to break that negative mindset. Mimi, I see you unmute. Do you have anything that you want to share about this? Because I know you're into the investment thing. I know you work very hard. And if anybody else wants to share, please feel free to do so.
I'll read number 2.
Okay. Anybody want to say anything before we move on to number 2?
Oh, sure. I think, you know, I don't know if everyone's heard the saying, like, it takes money to make money. That's something, you know, when someone's able to get to that point, but just having like-minded individuals in a group like this, sharing resources, there's so many free things that are available to us that can help us with so many things that we do on the daily. So I think, yes, absolutely compounding your money. The famous Warren Buffett said, if we don't learn how to make money in our sleep, we'll be chasing that dollar forever, you know? So compounding money, this is really something I really truly learned what this meant maybe like 5 years ago. It's definitely not something I was taught in school, but I believe should be taught. And yeah, like there's so many different products and services out there. I guess it comes down to your level of, like, your appetite for risk, and then your level of that effort that you're going to be putting in. I think when things are transparent in that way you're able to decide, you know, what opportunities are for you and what, you know, you'd like to pass on to someone else who you know would benefit from it.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm glad you shared about Warren Buffett, because he's one of the biggest risk takers, multi-gajillionaire people that really knows his stuff. So everybody, when you get a chance, check out some of his books or his, you know, informational videos on like YouTube and stuff. Thank you so much, Mimi. Pastor Chaplin, number 2 is all yours.
Okay. Know your investing risk tolerance. Your appetite for risk, or how much you are willing to have your assets fluctuate relative to your goals, helps determine your risk tolerance.
And do you want to say anything about that, or anybody else wants to share what you learned from that part?
Yeah, basically just know your range, know your discipline, your financial discipline yourself, basically, and don't go out of your set boundary.
Excellent. Tanika, I see you unmuting and.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that as far as I agree with him on a piggyback on the risk tolerance, and also I also believe that you should know your range, but then I also believe that you should stretch.
It's true too. Yeah.
Because I know what you're talking about, but it's so scary. Like, I'm scared, but sometimes you gotta just take that leap of faith. And so, but be financially intelligent. When I talk about taking that faith, a lot of people use credit, or they borrow to buy things instead of investments.
Right.
And so I think that one of the things I recently did is I took a loan out, but my loan is going into an investment that's going to give me back the money. And so I didn't take the loan out just to play with.
Right.
Like, oh, I want a loan and I'm gonna go buy some, I like, Louis Vuitton, but I'm not gonna do that. When I buy my Louis Vuitton, it's cash because I already have that extra. And so I think that the discipline has to be, and you also, when you discipline, it got to be a consistency. That's what I understand. But so I'm enough of me talking.
No, that's excellent. Does anybody else have anything else they want to share about that? Because that's what it's all about, like sharing and, developing these ideas. And I need to talk to you about this loan that you're referring to when we're off of this, because this is great. Or if you want to share now, like what? That's excellent, because a lot of times when people do take out loans, it's for a set purpose, etc. And then the interest rates are out of this world. Speaking of loans, presently there are a lot of loans and opportunities at 0 to like 5% rates because of the pandemic, and there's a lot of leniency out there. So just keep that in mind, especially when it comes to real estate. I know that's another topic, but we might as well throw that in a little bit when it comes to loans and playing around with your money. These are things that people should be considering, especially during these times. Anybody else?
I have a friend who wants to get into real estate investment, and I advised her because she's so scared about a house. And I said, you know what? You don't even have to do a house. You can do an apartment and have it rent out there. You don't have to start with a big house. So I just want to also throw that out there. People always think you got to be such a big, you don't have to jump in that big. You can jump in a smaller way, something that you're not afraid of, right?
Brick by brick.
That's right. You don't have to start like that.
And that's so excellent. And that goes hand in hand with getting started early, as well as knowing your tolerance, because sometimes we want to think so big, but there's actually a program, just to let you all know, right here in town. Start small, think big, I think, is the organization. If you all are interested, I can send some information about that. It's an organization set up to help business owners or people that want to get into business. When we have huge ideas, sometimes our pockets are like, I love your ideas, ma'am or sir, but the way we can handle this particular venture is not as grand as you feel. However, it's not impossible. Let's start small and let's think big and grow together. So especially for somebody like Ty, who works very closely with the youth, you need to know about these organizations that are set up, because at the end of the day, people told me about certain things, and that's why I always give back, because I know that there's things out there for us, but we have to know. And again, for you, Pastor Chaplain, with your youth that you are really helping and you care for too, they need to know about these organizations that are set up.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Whenever you get any of those information, send it to me.
Of course. Got you.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Who wants to read number 3? Please, we're on a roll tonight. Yes. Number 3. Okay, I guess that's, oh, Marshall, Attorney Marshall, go ahead. That's yours. Number 3.
Oh, is it? Okay. I think it's coming off my screen. Okay, number 3, diversify your investments. Holding a variety of investments, for example, stocks and bonds, can help reduce your portfolio's risk, because if one investment stumbles, you may have others to offset the decline. That sounds great. That sounds wonderful. I'm an investment novice. I wouldn't know how to offset one from the other. Perhaps someone can advise me regarding that.
Who is savvy on that part that wants to advise Attorney Marshall? I have my thoughts, but I'll jump in after. Who wants to, you know, share your thoughts about number 3?
Well, what I got from it is that if you have more than a group of entities going on, if one entity stumbles, those other entities can help hold up and bring back up that one entity that fell under that umbrella of entities.
Love that. Love that. Anybody else? Well, I can share, when you diversify your investments or diversify your portfolio, it just means like kind of like what it says, like having different options, right? So let's say, and I'll give this analogy because I'm kind of hood like that. Let's say you're a dude, right? There's some men on here, and there'll be men watching or whatever, and you see this fly honey, and she has like a lot of great characteristics, but she might be missing something. So you have like several honeys to choose from, just in case the first shotty is like not cutting it. So then you have your backup plans, A, B, C, and D. Amen. I'm just saying that's the only way I can share for it to make sense, because you want to diversify, you want to have options, you want to be like, okay, shotty number 1 ain't doing it, let me go to shotty 2 or shotty 3. But since you guys are good, wholesome men, you're more than likely not thinking like this. However, that's the best way I can say it. Anybody else want to share? Because in life, you have to have options, but when you're a good Christian young man or woman, you're not thinking like AniYa A, praise God.
Yes, you're not, because you're a naughty girl.
All right. Tanika, how do you want to break it down?
So I gather this information by diversifying your investment. I would say have assets that give you income in different ways. So you might have a business that operates by itself, which means that's an asset because you don't have to be involved. Then you might have real estate properties that actually throw off some money every month, so you don't have to be involved in that, and that's another way of getting money into your pocket. And you might be a musician, and you might have money coming in from royalties, so that's another way to get money in your pocket. You might have stocks and bonds, stocks, all types of things. And all of these are assets because they're throwing money in your pocket. So with one is low, you got the other one to back it up.
That's right. That's right. Crutch it. Crutch it.
Yes, I love that. And she just did it so eloquently, as AniYa just dropped the ball totally. But you all get it. She's doing it. And this is the thing about what she just shared too. We have those examples right here for all of you to check out on both, I think 3 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. There's all sorts of examples. And then if worst case scenario, you know, there's always those financial advisors like our guy at JP Morgan, Russ. You can give him a call and you could schedule a time to sit with him and ask him, because that's what happened with me. After, you know, Tanika eloquently broke it down, I can be more serious too, literally. There's a lot of options out there with the whole gamut when it comes to stocks and bonds and things of that nature. One of the things that I have money in is Starbucks. And the reason being is because I drink a lot of Starbucks, right, guys? Like when you see me hyped like this, it's not natural. It's a lot of espresso. I do have a great personality, but espresso helps. Yay! And so I was taught, like, if you like something a lot, if you shop a lot in a particular, you know, endeavor, or like if you have a, you know, favorite anything, invest in it, because it can return your money, right? Like, why should I spend $1 billion on Starbucks and not get anything back? So I diversified my portfolio by investing into Starbucks. And then I also have, you know, stocks in different places. Who taught me how to do that too? His name is Russ Smith, JP Morgan, because he was like, listen, AniYa, right now, and then this is another tidbit that I learned that I can gladly share with all of you. Right now, the biggest thing that we can invest in, and Mimi can chime in on this too, is AI, is the technology world, right? AI being artificial intelligence, technology, Tesla, all these different things that are happening. Zoom, for example, may be a great investment because we use Zoom all the time. So whatever it is that you're utilizing a lot, I can say look into it and definitely, you know, invest into it. And then again, contact Russ because he will break it down even better for you. Mimi, do you want to chime in on this part at all? Oop, I feel like we may have lost Mimi. Well, oh, Ty just lost us, but she'll be back on. She just sent me a message. But as we wait for Mimi and Ty to come back on, we will continue. But I hope that makes sense. Attorney Marshall, does that make sense?
Yes, actually, something that I've been thinking about. Don't want to be contrarian, but maybe I am. Well, one of the things I think that we ought to invest in, and one of the reasons why I like your platform here is I believe this is a great place and opportunity to do that. I think that more so than investing in Google, Zoom, etc., right? Those are good. Invest in them, but I think the greatest investments that we can make are is investing in each other, right? And I'm speaking specifically of we were on last week. We had a young lady on. Her name was Totney. She has a construction company. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the reasons why there was this great resurgence and accumulation of wealth in the Black community in Tulsa, known as Black Wall Street, was because we were investing in each other, buying from, building with each other, etc. I don't believe that America can stand if we don't shop. I've heard that many times. Yeah. So we ought to shop some of that with each other consciously. We're here to talk, you know, about what is it, Black Solidarity Day, etc. Right? But that has to be a daily, exercise. For example, as I stated many times, I'm building this T-shirt. Right? I'm not just building a T-shirt. That's just a symbol of what I'm attempting to do. The Afro-diaspora and the whole idea is to do what was done many times before, you know, and specifically, I'd like to employ some of the youth, right, who are great in technology to help to build this website so that when I'm investing in the youth, I don't necessarily want to have to go to Shopify or GoDaddy or Etsy, etc. Some of the youth, and you know, some of them are not quite. Some of them have the skills, but do you have the attention span, etc. Do you have a willingness? Do you have the understanding that I am willing to pay, but you must, you know, be there available, right? So I think we invest in each other. You know, I thought about, you know, asking you to, like you're saying with Mr. Ruff, you know, talk about this T-shirt, and every time you talk about it, say, everyone that I sell, you get 25 cents.
Nice.
Right? May not seem like that much, but 100,000 of those, that adds up. $2,000 I'm investing in you, right?
Yeah.
I haven't brought it to you because I'm just building my website. Let's put it on today. I don't want you to say, tell your friends and then it's not ready. Or, you know, it's going to take 5 weeks to get one T-shirt. You understand?
Yep.
But I'm saying if we invest in each other right here, right now, we will get a little more monies that we can invest other places, you know, and so on and so forth. So that's my belief in diversifying, right? I believe that's the best way to diversify, is to diversify in what we're doing, right? And then we can do other types of diversification. That's the thing that's overlooked too often, right? And also, in terms of diversify, I think that you speak of investing and diversifying, but that assumes that we know something about stock. I don't know anything about stock. I've been told over and over, but you know, I haven't read those 10, 15, 20 books that, you know. So perhaps you can tell us about some books that we can read that will give us some insight so I can make an informed decision.
Wow. First of all, amazing, amazing. I'm so glad you shared that. And as you know too, so we're going to thank God for, you know, that analogy, that information that you just brought up, because a lot of times we forget about our own. And the reason why it's a lot easier in my mind, right, to refer to like the Starbucks and the other conglomerates are because they are conglomerates. They've already been set up in such a way and a magnitude where everybody's investing. They have met all the qualifications to be, you know, where they are. Therefore, you know, they get all the business, whereas we are constantly on the bottom of the totem pole. And this is what we're trying to change. Speaking of small business owners, you know, I'm a small business owner myself, and I think you're absolutely right. We have to be able to share. And that's why I also offer the platform on the AniYa show, right? I sent an email out, well, my PR person sent an email out,
Yes.
you know, to the community to say, listen, if you want to advertise, this is a very small fee that we're doing this for because of the access and the reach that I have that you might necessarily not have. I have over 5,000 on one platform, 20,000 here, 60,000 people. And that's going throughout my social media. Mimi, same. Tanika, great, you know, contacts, and we have access to a whole lot of people, right? And that's what we're looking to build, is that hub. And then furthermore, Tanika's son actually has his own hat company, and we spoke with him recently, and that evening he got, you know, tremendous feedback and people were buying, and I still haven't had a chance to go online to even purchase because of the issues that I've been dealing with the Haiti Give Back project. However, I am going to buckle down and support as soon as possible. But that was such a great event that night for him to share as a young man who's, I think, 13, right, Tanika? 13. Yep. And he has his own, you know, 13. That's right. Will is doing it big. And Tanika, please drop that website in our group chat, or just text it to me and I'll send it to everybody. But we have to support each other for sure.
One of the things I want to say too, I love the way you said that program said you start small, think big. Because when I first talked about him, and I encouraged him to be an entrepreneur, because if he wasn't going to do it the right way, I knew he was going to do it the illegal way. So I put him on the right track because he loves money so much. So I started out collecting bottles, and I had him collecting bottles through the building, collecting bottles in the house, and he loved that. I had him have his grandmother save the bottles, and I said that's a recycling business. And so he collect those bottles, and he loved going to the store and getting his little money.
That's right. Responsibility early. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's starting okay. You know, the only sad part is my mom. I put it on Facebook with him taking his bottles. My mom was like, "Don't put that. Oh my God, my friend's gonna see my grandson collecting bottles. That has nothing to do with that. That's smart. You know, stop being ashamed. I mean, there's people who are collecting scrap metal, all kinds of stuff, and they're billionaires. So why people have to be upset about whatever you do? It's whatever you can do to have, get cash.
And you'll be surprised. I love what you just said, because when you teach the youth, you know, the right way from jump, they always have that entrepreneurial mindset. I was doing little odds and end jobs as well when I was little. Did I know I was going to be an entrepreneur or businesswoman? No, I thought I was going to be a psychologist. But either way, God always maneuvers it in a way for you to have that, you know, mentality from whatever age. Side note, my neighbor collects bottles for, you know, her Africa project, because she sends stuff to Africa. She's of African descent. And I think she mentioned last year she made over $5,000 collecting bottles. Right. And you have people also who know what you're working on and you're doing that will kindly collect the bottles for you, like we do. We like literally take our bottles and our, you know, whatever, you know, she needs, and we put them at her door. That's like 35 steps she doesn't have to go take to look for those bottles, right? So I love that.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, and that's what we have to do. And I know where your mom is probably coming from too, because sometimes we have these negative connotations with certain things, but we just have to be smart about it and be accepting, because I love that. And Pastor Ryan, I would love for you to say something about the youth and how it's important for us to give them these different options so they don't go out into the streets.
That's right.
Yes, definitely, definitely, because we must delete idle time and fill it with positivity. We must, because idle time is reigning terror, and oh man, it is having a field day. So we must eradicate the idle time, because you know who idle time is belong to.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're gonna fill it with positive time, because we know who that belongs to. Almighty. So let's fill it with positivity.
That's right.
Cram it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And that's what we're looking to do, especially with these types. And then look what number 4 says. I think Tanika would be perfect in reading number 4. I think you would be perfect.
All right, I wasn't prepared. Contribute early and often. Regular contribution, big or small, can help improve your chances of reaching your goals.
Yeah,
the key is consistency, and that's what I say. It doesn't matter. I mean, I put $25 a week or every 2 weeks away from my kids, and then I didn't look at it, and I was like, oh my God, they got a couple of $1,000. That was great. $25. We go to, like you said, we go to Starbucks. That.
Right. And that's why I wanted to read that, because as we were talking about start small, think big, that's the next one, right? So it doesn't matter like how we start, just get started, just learn the gamut, just go. And another key point I just thought about as we were just sharing is the fact that I just read that there is an elderly man in his 90s or 80s, if I'm not mistaken, who learned how to speak French and then graduated with like a French degree at like 89. Like he wanted to do this all his life, and he finally started, and then he went for it, and now he's like a whole scholar in French, in you know, the French speaking language. So listen, it doesn't matter when we get started, just go for it. And then they have on the sheet, you know, the contributions, what that looks like. One of the things that I love about this spreadsheet and this information is all the ways that they have it broken down, right? And they give you examples, because I'm a visual person myself, and that's why I have all these analogies, and I, you know, create little scenarios, because that's how I think. But, you know, when you think about it, it's being consistent, is always like, you know, standing your guard, not letting anything come between you and your goals. Tonight, for example, I was about to not have the event or the meeting, because I knew with the weather, and I knew that people have a lot of different things on their mind. But guess what? We are here. And look, I'm getting messages. Are you still on? Yes, we are. Come on in, right? So we definitely, and look, as I'm talking to you all, it says, sorry, was out and about in this storm. What did I just say? But I said to myself, I am not going to prevent us from coming on together, because we need this as a people and as a community. So when you look at the information, you will see the little pictures and the diaphragm. I always mess up. I don't know if it's diagram or diaphragm. Either way, I'm not being nasty. I just really always get confused. Tanika is a school teacher. You tell me diagram, diaphragm, whatever that little picture is. I know. Hi, welcome, Craig. Craig is with us.
Yes.
Yes, we were just talking about not canceling because of the storm, and you literally texted to ask if we're on.
That's right.
All right, real quick,
Hello, brother.
can you let us know a little bit of who you are real quick as we're going to our last tip and share who you are, Craig?
Just stopped in a long day. I am a graduate of Hunter College. I'm an MBA candidate, finishing up my MBA here in New York City. I spent 10 years in finance. I spent 10 years in tech. I run my own consulting practice on the side. I'm working with William A. Allen on his campaign commitment to become New York City councilman in that district. And I'm working on two separate projects, one that's in the works with Eric Adams, who's New York City's Brooklyn Borough president, running for mayor.
Thank you so much, Craig. We are so happy that you are able to join us. We are going to be wrapping up in a few, but as you know, these sessions are recorded and then sent out to everybody. So you'll get that entire email of all the
Sorry for
PDFs.
being late, AniYa.
No, it's okay. I know. And that's why, you know, we kept going because we knew that a lot of people would probably miss out, but that's why we record these so that we could send them out. And then you should have gotten an email to Craig with what we're discussing. And so,
I just saw that, yeah.
excellent. So you'll see, and you probably know since you're in finance, those 5 tips, right? So we have the last tip that we're going to go over, and then we're going to briefly discuss, you know, how everybody's doing in regards to their financial planning and where everybody is and where you want to go, because we have a financial advisor on board that
I used to be a financial advisor as well, just to be clear. So at Citibank, I used to run a financial relationship program for the Upper East Side for about 6 years.
for 6 years. Oh my God. So you're not doing that right now, Craig?
No, I left banking behind about 10 years ago, but I used to host seminars and financial events for even like my own college. I did it for Bloomingdale's, for a bunch of different organizations throughout the city. So we were talking about 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, planning, equities, home equity lines of credit, mortgages, interest rates, everything, the full gamut we covered.
And this is why having this group is so important. And that's why we have to stay more connected to hear more of that side of you, and also see what we can do as a community for more growth, right? And so let's read the last one real quick, and then let's see who wants to volunteer to read the last one. And then of course we will send this recording out to everybody, you know, and keep going. Number 5, who wants to read that and share your thoughts on that?
I can do it, AniYa.
Excellent.
Okay, so number 5, keep your investments on track. Market movements can cause your portfolio to take on more or less risk than originally planned. Rebalancing keeps your investments on track to help you reach your goals.
Mimi, do you want to share your thoughts
Sure.
on?
So I know we've done, you know, through this group, you've talked about like a financial checkup. I think just like how we go to the doctor, how we go to the dentist, how we go to the, you know, bank and check everything on a periodic basis. I think it's the exact same thing when it comes to our finances, any investments that we have going on. I know this topic was kind of brought up a little bit in the beginning about your appetite for risk, but I think when it comes down to any type of investment, where the most important thing or the first thing to look at is time, because time is something we'll never be able to get back. And if we can create a game plan and know how much time we'd be willing to either learn a new skill, try a new product, try a new service, when we decide how much time investment we're going to give into that, then we can schedule in those checkups. We can schedule in when we're going to be monitoring certain things. So always having a plan. And that also comes down to, you know, proper money management and skills that you want to have as an investor.
Anybody else want to share? Thank you, Mimi. That was so good. Anybody else before I chime in?
I want to, but it's so loud where I'm at. But let me step outside.
Oh, okay. Thank you again, guys. I'm loving the vibe tonight.
So yes, so here we go in New York City. Just FYI, just so you know, right here on my neighborhood.
Nice.
Yeah. So just to kind of piggyback on what Mimi was saying. Yeah, timing is also, if I heard everything right, timing is also key. Um, when entering any type of financial investment, depending if it's something long term like an IRA, a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA, or a just an individual mutual fund or a set of mutual funds, or if you're entering into stocks, if you're buying short, selling long, things like that. Everything requires someone to take the time to do their due diligence, to really learn about what they're going to be getting themselves into, what they're going to be putting their money into, what are the expectations on returns when it comes to the money, long term and short term. Can you access your money at a certain point? Can you not access your money at a certain point? What would be the ramifications if you pull the money out earlier than what you had it locked in for? So there's so many different moving pieces to it. Investments can be very difficult if you've never taken the time to learn about it, understand it, or have a good advisor. So it's important really to do your due deal. I myself would be happy to talk to anybody that's looking to get involved in it even further. I mean, there's so many different moving pieces. Where do you start? It's more about really talking to the person and their interest. If they're a conservative investor, moderate, or aggressive, you'd want to find that out as well.
Hello? Did he get lost?
I think because
what kind of income?
Oh, okay.
She seems very sound on it. I agree on everything she said, and I'd also be happy to have one-on-ones with anyone that is interested.
Thank you so much, Craig. That was so vital. And you know what? Everything you both said is absolutely correct, because at the end of the day, it's such a difficult process. And I know attorney Marshall is so interested in learning more and growing and investing. Correct, attorney Marshall? But he's
That's correct.
Yep. And he shares it straight up. Like, I don't want to jump into this thing and be at a disadvantage. And that's exactly, what a lot of people are going through. And one thing that I've noticed is in our communities, because we're all brown and Black people here, right? Let's be honest. This game is not necessarily set up for us. So, sometimes they want to push us out. So when we have somebody like Craig, who knows the game, when we have Mimi, who knows the game, when we have, Russ, our investment banker on board, who knows the game and is willing to share information. Tanika, advises her friends very well in this industry. These things make me feel good, because my backstory is, having stocks and mutual funds for years. And I didn't even know the first thing about anything. I just knew I wanted to be wealthy one day, or not super wealthy, even like, let's not be homeless. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be on the street somewhere because I don't have anything saved up in a bank or what have you. And then what happens with us is we try to get information, and this is a personal testimonial. I'm with Edward Jones, but not for very long. And when I try to sit with my investment banker, who I've been with for over 5 years, and I try to get a breakdown of what the hell is going on with my money, they're like, I don't have time to talk about that. Is it because I don't have?
And that's the wrong type of advisor. Nah, that's the worst type of advisor. That's the type of advisor who basically thinks that you're not high enough of a net value worth client to waste the time to take a few minutes to discuss what's going on with your portfolio. And those are the ones you got to move away from.
Yeah.
Like that.
Exactly. And that's why God led me to somebody that cares, who looks like me, and who says it openly. And Marshall was on the line, attorney Marshall was on the line. Pastor Ryan, you were right there when he, you missed his part. But Ty was there, attorney Ryan, Marshall was there, and so was quite a few other people that are not here tonight, but that's okay. We're sending off those notes to you all, and there's going to be more opportunities. And you know what, Craig? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a quick question for the young man who's been an advisor. My son always wanted to have McDonald's stocks, and I understand that Charles Schwab, you can buy fractional shares. Is that something that I can get him set up with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, McDonald's shares are always up for grabs. Any company that has that's public has shares that's up for grabs. You just got to look at the ticker price. The ticker price is what is the actual term for it, which is what the stock is going at the current time. When it comes to McDonald's stocks, I haven't looked at the price right now, but you have to really kind of make a decision on whether you think the price is worth buying at right now, whether or not you have enough to buy a good amount, and when you do buy that amount, whether or not you feel like it's going to go up, or if it's going to stay stagnant, or if it's going to go down, because that's the risk that's involved with it. So you want to try to find stocks to invest in that have the upside of skyrocketing or at least growing enough to the point where you turn a good profit when you pull out on it, right? So that's the main thing. Yeah, so that's my piece of advice. Like Chipotle, right? So a lot of people don't know, but Chipotle is owned by McDonald's. They're an umbrella of McDonald's. You may want to look into
He
Chipotle.
loves Chipotle too. Both,
You may want to look into
those
that.
are his favorite places. That's so interesting. But
McDonald's owns Chipotle.
wow, okay.
People don't know that.
But I was saying, my question was asking you because he will not. He's got to buy his own stock, right? I'm buy a couple of. I want to know about the fractional share. Like you can buy fractions of shares at a time instead of buying like all of it. Like in
all of it. Yep.
Is Charles Schwab something that a child can be set up with?
Yeah, yeah. So what's his age? First of all, what's his age?
He's 13.
Yeah, so obviously he has to have a fiduciary party involved in it, which would be you, right? So you have they have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure they do it right by the client, but they also have to have someone who's legally of age to be involved in the whole process, right? He can't technically do it on his own. He has to have a parent, which would be you if he's 13.
Okay. I just want to know, so I'll look.
Because nothing is legally binding until he's 18 years old. Nothing, not a trade, not a purchase, not
right.
not even nothing's legally binding. Not a contract he signs, nothing.
Right.
Oh my God, this is so exciting, and this is why we do what we do here on ECI. Yes, God, I'm so excited. Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a big nerd, and these things excite me because I feel the growth and the empowerment. And honestly, this is what it's about, because these questions that we have and sometimes we sit on, we don't get the results and the answers because, again, just like Craig says, and just like I know, people don't find value in our questions a lot of times, or feel like we're not where we should be for them to even discuss certain things with us, right? And that's why we're always not at the table, and we're changing that. Not only are we not going to accept not being at the table, but we're building our damn table ourselves, because that's what it's about. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I take action. Sorry, Pastor Chaplain Warren, for cursing. Please pray for me.
That's all right. That's all right. Remember, God. Remember, God. Jesus is amongst the heathens. He was in the mix. He was in the mix. He heard that. He heard
and he flipped some tables, so I know he said a couple of bad words too. Amen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So listen, guys, we're about to shut it down because, as you all know, I have a show each and every night at 8:30 p.m. Tonight, we have a very special guest, Pierre Gooding, who is a leader in the community that I wanted to definitely interview. Well, he definitely wants to be interviewed on this platform, and I want to interview him as well because of everything that he's doing. Please take a look at that. I'll send a flyer to the group. But listen, before we shut down, we have an exercise that we do every night.
I want to say hello to everyone. I'm sorry for missing out on a few. I've had a couple of personal things that took precedent, but I'll be back. I'll be more dedicated to this. It was amazing the first time around. Marshall, great to see you again. TANIKA, great to see you. Mimi, awesome to see you. AniYa, of course. Pastor Ryan Wharton, want to have a one-on-one. Anyone else here who I don't see?
Yes.
Listen, we're gonna do that, and then I want you to stick around for this closing, Craig, because I know you're eating and you're having a good time.
No, I'm here. I'm now that I'm settled down. Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. So it's I don't know if you can hear me because it's kind of loud in the background.
I'm gonna lower it. I'm gonna take it up. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Hold on. We have a chat real quick. Somebody. Oh yes. So please drop your email, Craig. Well, you know what? All of you are in that group chat together. What's funny is sometimes you don't know that you all are responding to each other and things like that. But we're in that WhatsApp group. Somebody just hit me up again. And I want you guys to know, like, this is what this is about. It's building this hub of people, of businesses, of like-minded individuals to create something bigger than us, so that we can grow. Even with Mimi being in Canada, I say Canada, you say Canada, whatever. You know, she is very involved with us, and she is such a guru in so many different areas. Before we shut it down, let me say this: investing in technology is super huge right now. AI, as you all know, we're gonna do follow-ups via WhatsApp, and then we're gonna come back next week and maybe have another session and also talk about what's hot on the market. Today it was a recap, but next week, whoever wants to present, have your stuff ready. Let's try to meet at 6:30. Hopefully there won't be another crazy storm. And I will share the link or the information for tonight's interview with Pierre Gooding, and anything that you all are doing. Trust me, this is not AniYa's platform. This is the community's platform. So whatever you have going on, like Marshall, Attorney Marshall with his Afro-Jasperin shirts, you know, anything you have going on. If you do want to advertise with myself or anybody else that's within the group, say it. You know what I mean? If you have a product, I'm running a special now. I'm going to shoot that email out to you all. $25 holiday special per my PR person. You know, get your stuff on my platforms. I have access to hundreds of thousands of people throughout different groups and communities throughout New York and, you know, the world or what have you. So on my page alone, 5,000 solid followers and people that contribute thoughts, etc., monies, and all sorts of greatness. So I just wanted to put that out there, guys, because we're here for each other. If you want me to support anything you're doing, let me know. I'll do that for sure. Does anybody have any questions or concerns before we shut down for the night?
How do we get onto your 8:30 show? You have to be on Facebook?
Facebook
I'm not on Facebook.
or Instagram. But I think I got a request from you, Attorney Marshall. It was so funny. Last night you tried to come on with Biko.
Right, but
Right.
I'm not on Facebook. So I have to get on Facebook.
Okay,
That reminds me, Attorney Marshall, could you send me a text or email me? I put all 3 of my emails in there. I'd love to talk to you about something.
Okay, will do.
So Attorney Marshall, what you can do is be proactive and start a Facebook page tonight and jump on or start an IG page, because now is the time to be tech savvy since you have a whole line of clothing.
Absolutely.
And I'll send that flyer for you guys. For sure.
Okay.
And thank you for your support. And Biko did answer your question last night. I'll follow up with you in regards to the oregano oil for sure. I'm going to do our quick little shutting down thingy. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, just hit me up or hit up the group chat. And then on, I want to say within the next day or so, we can follow up with one another. Pastor Warren, if you could close us in prayer after we do our little shutdown, if that's okay. Excellent. So we do this thing where we affirm who we are, right? Mimi knows this, Pastor Warren knows it, Tanika might have been a part. So we're gonna do some affirmations. Tawana's still with us, praise God. I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't bring my religion to anything. I just bring self-awareness and God's grace and mercy. I tell people all the time, you could believe in a tree, you could believe in a rock, just believe in something greater than yourself, because what you speak into the universe is what you attract. And we want to attract all the greatest things that we can possibly get in this life. So we're gonna start it off and we do a breathing exercise and then we just affirm. You could either say it out loud or you can say it in your head. Here we go. As you close your eyes and you breathe in through your nose, release from your mouth and say, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am wonderfully made.
I am wonderfully made.
I am created for greatness.
I am created for greatness.
I am already rich.
I am already rich.
I am a multi-millionaire.
I am a multi-millionaire.
My community is rich.
My community is rich.
I am super healthy.
I am super healthy.
I love me.
I love me.
Breathe in through your nose. and out through your mouth.
I love that.
Concludes today's session.
I love that.
Real quick, Pastor Warren is going to close us out with the word. Thank you, Craig. We love that. You love this. Go ahead, Pastor Warren.
I'm actually gonna read something for y'all, all right?
All right.
Psalm 61, the higher rock. Hear my cry, O God. Attend unto my prayer. For the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings, Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. Amen and amen.
Amen and amen. Beautiful people, you're rich, you're amazing, you're blessed and highly favored. We're doing great things. Let's stay in touch. Thank you so much. See you on WhatsApp and see you next week.
See you
Same
guys
black
soon.
time, same black space,
All right.
30 p.m.
Great, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Take care.
Be safe. Be careful, Craig, wherever you are. God bless, Pastor.
Solid. Solid. See you guys later.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Nothing to stop you.
Nothing can stop us. We're
Pastor
already
Ron Wood,
up.
you the man.
Bless you,
Man,
bless
brother.
you, Craig. Bless you, Craig.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love y'all too, man. Y'all have a great night.
You too.
See you soon.
Okay.